All right, folks, let's talk about something Labour really doesn't want to admit. They promised to end cruel welfare cuts, but their own MPs are now calling Labour's welfare reform plans an omnishambles that will hurt disabled people. So who's telling the truth? And what does it mean for people who are too sick to work? Let's break it down. First, what's this bill actually doing? It increases the universal credit standard allowance in line with the inflation until 2030. That sounds good. But here's the catch. They're freezing the disability-related top-up called the Limited Capability for Work component, known as LCW, for the same period. That means people too sick to work get no increase for years. Worse still, from April 2026, new claimants who qualify for the stricter Limited Capability for Work and Work-Related Activity element, called LCWRA, will get less money unless they meet severe conditions or are terminally ill. So yes, there's an increase for everyone else, but a freeze and cuts for the sickest people. That's Labour's big plan. Here's where it gets spicy. Labour's own MPs are in open revolt. Rachael Maskell, MP for York Central, led an attempted rebellion last week. She called the whole thing an omnishambles that betrays Labour's founding values of equality and justice. She says this will leave such a stain on the party. Why? Because people with conditions like multiple sclerosis, MS, schizophrenia or cystic fibrosis can move in and out of work as their health changes. Under the new rules, if they go back on benefits after remission, they'd get shoved onto a lower rate, about £50 less a week for their health needs. That's a big cut for people who can't plan when they'll be too sick to work. Now, Labour's own Social Security Minister, Stephen Timms, pushed back. He said the bill protects people with fluctuating conditions thanks to a 6-month rule. If someone loses eligibility but becomes sick again within 6 months, they'd be treated as if they never left. Sounds like a safety net, right? But Maskell says that's not good enough. Many conditions don't follow a nice, neat 6-month relapse pattern. People could easily fall through the cracks. Another Labour MP, Debbie Abrahams, who chairs the Commons Work and Pensions Committee, tried to delay these cuts until 2026. Why? She says the NHS doesn't have the capacity to support people with new or worsening conditions right now. She warns that without delaying, 45,000 more disabled people and their children risk being pushed into poverty. Let's be clear. These are Labour MPs saying their own government's policy will make people poorer. And there's another layer to this. The government is also reviewing the Personal Independence Payment, or PIP. PIP is a separate disability benefit that helps cover extra living costs for people with long-term health conditions or disabilities. Minister Stephen Timms promised they'd pause reforms to PIP until after a review. But MPs like Marie Tidball are worried. She says disabled people must lead that review, not just be consulted after the fact. She wants disabled people and their organisations to have real power in shaping the changes, not be given meaningless input. So let's step back. Labour won power, promising to end cruel Tory austerity. They said they'd protect the vulnerable. Now they're planning to freeze a disability benefit for 6 years. They're cutting the rate for new claimants unless they're extremely ill. And their own MPs are calling it an omnishambles that will hurt people who can't work. This is the exact kind of policy that could turn core Labour supporters against them, especially disabled people and carers who thought they were voting for change. Well, folks, this is the real question. Is Labour trying to balance the books on the backs of the sick and disabled, or can they fix this bill before it does real damage, both to vulnerable people and to their own credibility? I want to hear from you. Is this good fiscal sense or betrayal of Labour's core values? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video so more people see what's going on, and subscribe to TruthCast UK for real talk that doesn't pull punches. I'm Ellie, and I'll see you next time.